I have a lot to say about Back to the Future. I'm very excited. I'm glad that you're all here, but I want to start. I saw MB Lutz in the comments say, save your bacon grease, and that is great advice. Bacon grease is great for cooking with. Just a little bit works for eggs, but I'm going to add to that advice. You can take your bacon grease, you can store it in a jar, but if you're just going to store it at room temperature, it's only going to last for like 6 months. If you store it in the refrigerator, it'll last for about a year. After that, you want to get rid of the bacon grease. You don't want to hold on to it. You don't want grease that has turned. But enough about that. Let's turn to talking about Back to the Future, one of the greatest movies of all time. Classic comedy. Came out in July of 1985. And of course, October 21st, 2015 is the date that they travel to for the beginning of Back to the Future Part 2. And so many people love these movies. They still are popular to this day. People still quote them. And so I think it's exciting to have this, and I love the job that our design team did with this image. Love it so much. I got to go to a Comic-Con once and see a DeLorean, like a replica, a truly detailed replica, and I got to take a picture in it. That was a very exciting day for me. Those of you out there, if you had your own time machine, I'm curious what time you would travel to. Where would you want to go? Would you want to go to a time in history, in ancient history, see what was going on? Do you want to visit the dinosaurs? Do you want to be there for the signing of the Declaration of Independence? Or do you want to go back to like the 60s, something more recently? 1960s, got a couple people there. 1995, 1991, 1969. Oh, 1897, 100 years before you were born. See what it was like then. I love it. Folks, when we get this baby up to 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious quiz. Welcome to our big money Back to the Future edition of Swagbucks Live, the mobile game show where you win money from the comfort of your phone. You've got a shot at a huge prize today, and it's up to you whether you donated any of it to Save the Clock Tower. You're here because you appreciate the finer things in life, like winning money by tapping your phone a few times, and that is a beautiful thing. So let's take a look at today's grand prize. There it is, $2,500 available. And everyone who can correctly answer these 10 multiple-choice trivia questions about the Back to the Future trilogy of films will split it. But even if you don't get a piece of that grand prize, you don't have to travel back to the beginning of the game because you can still walk away with something in your pocket. Here's how it works. After question number 1, everybody who remains in this app answering questions can earn 1 bonus SB for any question they get right. And that's the case even if you get eliminated from grand prize contention. But if you get eliminated and you continue to play for bonus SB, at the very end, we're going to ask you to claim those SB to add them to your account. That is as simple as clicking a button that will appear on your screen. If you're a grand prize winner, you don't have to claim anything. Those bonuses are rolled into your share of the grand prize. Now, what happens the first time I get a question wrong, you may ask? I will explain. As long as it is before our final question, you have the opportunity to rejoin to give yourself another shot at that $2,500 grand prize. You can do that using free rejoins. If you don't have any, I'll explain how you can get them later on in the game, or you can use SB to do it. Generally, it's 1 SB to rejoin. Of course, that is totally up to you. You're going to earn the bonus SB no matter what, so do what is comfortable for you. But I believe in your ability to get a bunch of these questions right and do really well. Swagbucks Live audience never lets me down. All of my favorite game show contestants in one place. You gotta be kidding me. Let's get ready to go back in time where our actions are already making the comments disappear. Oh, look, they're fading away. Oh, goodbye, comments. I'm playing Earth Angel on the guitar is not going to bring them back. All right, let's move on to question number 1. It is your warm-up. Here it is. Who played Marty McFly? Was it Robert Downey Jr., Michael J. Fox, or Michigan J. Frog? Who played the hero of Back to the Future? Now, when he wasn't available initially, Eric Stoltz was hired, but he didn't fit. So the producers were able to move heaven and earth to get their first choice and free him up. He would shoot on the weekends when he wasn't doing Family Ties. Michael J. Fox is the answer. Going, Doc, what? I don't know about this. It's pretty heavy. 95% of you getting that one right. Well done. That means 5% of you have been eliminated. You've been erased from the family picture, but you can still come back in. There's always a chance to come back right now with a rejoin, and pretty much everybody who was eliminated has done just that. Most of you doing it with free rejoins. We have over 28,600 people in grand prize contention, over 29,000 of you playing the game. And from here on out, no matter what, every question you get right is worth 1 bonus SB, so don't nobody go nowhere, okay? Here is question number 2, worth 1 bonus SB. In the original Back to the Future, what year did Marty travel to? Was it 1955, 1215, or 1776? To what year does Marty McFly travel? Now, while Doc Brown is showing Marty how the time machine works, he enters a series of dates, including the birth of Christ, the signing of the Declaration of Independence, but he starts with a banner day, November 6th, 1955, the day he bumped his head and came up with the flux capacitor. 92% of you knew that 1955 was, in fact, the answer. Well done. He does not travel back to any historically significant dates that we know of, 1215, of course, being the year that the Magna Carta was sealed. But he goes back to 1955. He meets Doc Brown, who still has the bandage on his head, and he's got to get his parents back together. He's got to do it because he splits them up unintentionally. All right, folks, let's move on to question number 3, worth 1 bonus SB. If you get it right, here it is. What kind of car does Doc Brown turn into a time machine? Is it a Corvette, a Nova, or a DeLorean? I mean, it's right there on the screen, if it helps. Why did he choose the stainless steel sports car? Well, he figured if you're going to travel through time, you might as well do it in style. That's why he chose a DeLorean? You made a time machine out of a DeLorean? 96% of you getting that one right. Well done with the gull wing doors. It's so cool. The car already looked like it was from the future. Why not make it a time machine? Now that is its lasting legacy, is that it is the if you see a DeLorean that doesn't have all this stuff on it, you go, that thing's not complete. That doesn't look like you could travel through time. Anyway, most of you getting that one right. Well done. Still over 26,500 of you in grand prize contention. And we are moving on to question number 4, worth 1 bonus SB. If you get it right, here it is. What is the name of Marty McFly's band? Are they the Pinheads, the Shockers, or the Rage? A little factoid from the first movie. It's the name of his band. Marty has dreams of being a rock star, and he's a pretty good guitar player, although the judge, they say that his band, the Pinheads, are just too darn loud. Hey, we're the Pinheads. Pinheads is the answer. 79% of you getting that one right. And, of course, the judge, the head of the panel of judges, in fact, I think the entire panel of judges are all Huey Lewis in the News, but it is Huey Lewis who stands up and says, sorry, you're just too darn loud. And, of course, he's providing, Marty is playing a Huey Lewis song, playing The Power of Love and soloing over it beautifully. And that is Michael J. Fox playing the guitar. Pretty cool if you see some behind the scenes footage of that. But getting back to the game, the 21% of you got that one wrong. Most of you coming right back in. Still over 25,000 people in grand prize contention. The rest of you sticking around, which I like to see because you're continuing to earn bonus SB. Just like the bonus SB you'll get if you can correctly answer question number 5. Here it is. A Universal executive wanted to change the title of Back to the Future. What was his proposed title? Was it How I Met My Parents, Out of Time, or Spaceman from Pluto? Another piece of Back to the Future lore. This exec said that the word future was box office poison, so he suggested a title that was so ridiculous that executive producer Steven Spielberg handled it by writing him a note saying that was a really, really funny joke, calling the movie Spaceman from Pluto. If you think of any actual notes, let us know. Spaceman from Pluto is the answer. Thank goodness they didn't pick that. 57% of you getting that one right, which I'm impressed by. This is a very minor fact of Back to the Future, something that I, a super fan, might not even have known. But of course, Marty dresses up as a spaceman because he's got the radioactive suit, so the spaceman lives on in the movie, but not in the title. Back to the Future, way better title. I think we all can agree on that one. About half of the people eliminated coming back in, closer to 60%. Still almost 20,000 people in grand prize contention. With a reminder, those of you who haven't rejoined who are kind of on the fence, there's $2,500 on the line. Just if that moves you one way or the other. Also, we are halfway done this game. There are only 5 questions remaining, standing in between you and this $2,500 grand prize. So let us move on now to question number 6, worth 1 bonus SB if you get it right. Here's Q6. In Back to the Future 2, which character uses a sports almanac from the future to get rich and open a casino in Hill Valley? Is it Biff, Lorraine, or George? This is the date he comes up with the idea in 2015. One of Doc's major no-nos of time travel is doing anything that would affect the timeline, including interacting with yourself, which, of course, Biff Tannen completely ignores. He sees it, figures out what Marty's plan was, steals the DeLorean, goes back and gives it to himself. Then Doc and Marty have to go back to 1955, and that strands Doc in 1885, and it's a whole mess, but 96% of you getting that one right. You know that one, and that's where we get the alternate timeline, the alternate 1985, where you have Biff Tannen's casino, and the entire town of Hill Valley has just fallen into ruin around it. But thank goodness that's not the future we got, or the present. It was fixed. They took care of it. Let's move on to question number 7. Only 4 questions remaining. This next one worth 1 bonus SB if you get it right. Here is Q7. While visiting 2015, what baseball team is announced as the winners of the World Series? Is it the Miami Marlins, the Chicago Cubs, or the Los Angeles Dodgers? Just watched Back to the Future 2. Can verify this with my eyes and ears. Now, the Mandela effect convinced people that this movie predicted the existence of not only this team, but their World Series win, and they're partly right. Miami is listed there, but they've lost to the Chicago Cubs. The Chicago Cubs are the winners of the 2015 World Series in Back to the Future. Of course, in reality, they would actually win in 2016, which is kind of crazy that the movie put that out there at this point. They had not won a World Series in 81 years, and they had to wait another several years, just another couple decades almost, to actually win. But I'm impressed that 92% of you remembering that factoid did not fall into the Miami Marlins trap. I'm so proud of you. So happy to see it. Over 17,500 people still in the hunt. And guess what? There are only 3 questions remaining. That is all we have left in this game. So let's move on to question number 8, worth 1 bonus SB. If you get it right, here it is. In the original script, what kind of animal did Doc Brown have as a companion? Is it a dog, a chimp, or a bird? You know how it is. People, these stories make it out there. One of these did you know articles. Now, it's hard to imagine the movie without Doc's canine companion, Einstein, but in the early drafts, he had a simian companion. It was supposed to be a chimpanzee. Chimpanzee is the answer. Only 18% of you getting that one right. Oh my goodness, I'm proud of those of you who got it right. I understand those of you who said dog. That is what wound up in the film, but early on it was a chimp. Then they realized working with animals is next to impossible, especially chimps. They are even more difficult than a dog, which is more easily trained for film. And that is what 79% of you went with. But here's the good news. We already have well over half of the people out coming right back in. And that is the last super difficult question I have for you. There are only 2 questions remaining in this game, and people are continuing to rejoin. Now over 2/3 of the people back into the fray, competing for a piece of that $2,500 grand prize, saying, I need this, I want this in my life, and guess what? I want it for you. The rest of you sticking around saying, hey, I got some more bonus SB to earn, I want to claim what I already got. Smart. Super smart. I applaud you. Why don't we move on to our second to last question right now? It's worth 1 bonus SB if you get it right. Here is Q9. All right, the band leader from the Enchantment Under the Sea dance is revealed to be the cousin of what rock legend? Is it Jack Bruce, Dee Snider, or Chuck Berry? Who is it? Oh, you crushed this one. I can see it. As Marty shreds through Johnny Be Good, the band leader calls his cousin and says, hey, Chuck, it's your cousin Marvin. Marvin Berry. You know that sound you've been looking for? Well, listen to this. Chuck Berry is the answer. We're inferring that Marty McFly gave Chuck Berry on the phone the idea for Johnny Be Good, which would become a hit. Of course, that's not what actually happened, but 13,304 of you knew that's what happened in the movie. You've made it this far, and you are ready for our final question. And if you had fun playing this game, this has been fast. We've gone 88 miles per hour, but we've stayed in the same time. Well, we moved slightly into the future, but that's happening every second anyway. If you had fun playing this game, please tell your friends and family. Let's get more people enjoying Swagbucks Live, more people earning SB, especially during the holiday season, and more people in here giving us great ideas for future games. So post to social media with the hashtag SBLive. Send an email, send a text, but include your special share link no matter what. You can find that after the game by clicking the invite or get more rejoins button in the main menu of this app. If people sign up using your link, you get a free rejoin, and they do too. How about that? And hey, here's another way if you enjoy playing SB, playing games and earning SB, which obviously you do. Here's another way you can do that. Take a solitaire cruise and enjoy your classic solitaire Tri-Peaks journey on iOS or Android. Train your brain and patience with a free solitaire Tri-Peaks card game. And when you complete World 15, you will earn 2,000 SB. You have to be a US player to take advantage of this opportunity, but do it after the game. We all love playing solitaire. Nobody's paying us for it until now. Solitaire Cruise, check it out after the game. We have 13,331 people. It's a palindrome. My goodness, I've never seen this before. 1331. 13331. Never mind. Anyway, 13,331 of you vying for a piece of our $2,500 grand prize. We have over 28,200 of you total who are here with us right now and have an opportunity to earn one more bonus SB. If you can correctly answer the final question of our first ever Back to the Future game, here is question number 10. Complete this Doc Brown quote. Where we're going, we don't need. Is it no education, mind control, or roads? Says it at the end of Back to the Future and then the beginning of Back to the Future 2. The end of the original movie, Doc Brown returns from the future with a modified DeLorean that can fly. And that means where we're going, we don't need roads. Roads is the answer. 13,057 of you knew that one. You are splitting our grand prize. Well done. You know, I didn't know what was going to happen with our first ever Back to the Future game, but unsurprisingly, you crushed it. Croy, you are a winner. The twisted one. You can do the twist into the winner's circle. And sweet EWR, how sweet it is that you have won this game. You're each of you, all of you grand prize winners, you're each winning 20 SB in grand prize money, plus the bonuses you earned along the way. And to those of you who earned bonus SB, maybe it came up short for the grand prize, I'm still proud of you. Congratulations, you are winners as well. I hope you have claimed your SB. And remember, as you add them to your account and the holidays grow nearer, then when the time is right, you can redeem those SB for PayPal cash or gift cards to Amazon, Starbucks, Target, and hundreds of other places. You've done a great job all week long. Please come back early tomorrow for our Friday Flash game and do it one more time. Thank you for playing Swagbucks Live, and we will see you then.